Hi, Karen. Is that you? Keep doing what you're doing. You don't have to stop. Good morning, afternoon, evening. Can you hear me?
I can't hear anybody. Give me
Christina, can you hear me? Good morning. Hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good. So you can hear me and I can hear you. Apparently Karen can't hear anybody.
Oh, no,
We can hear her, but
right.
how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, good, good. I have to get my gloves out though. I haven't gotten my gloves out yet. And I just came in a little while ago. My hands are still freezing.
It is cold out there.
It is, isn't it? I know. Crazy weather. Not crazy. I mean, it's winter. It's appropriate.
What's supposed to happen on Friday? We're getting a storm. I haven't really
I
followed.
think you're getting rain. I mean, I just looked at the maps. So I'm supposed to drive to Hyannis on Friday and I won't drive in the snow again. So it looks like from, from 495, even a little further out than 495 in, it's just rain. We'll be in the 40s if they,
Okay.
but rain, definitely rain. But the rest of the state, snow, varying amount.
Wow.
Could be. Do you have to commute to work or you work from home? What do you do?
It depends upon the day.
Depends on the day, yeah.
Yeah, so either I go to a meeting outside, or tomorrow I'm in the office. My office is in Newton. Today I was home, so that was nice.
Newton's a funny little commute from here, isn't it?
You never know what 128 is gonna do.
I know, yeah.
Can you guys hear me now?
They can hear you now. You're echoing though.
My computer's having problems. I'm gonna try and log on with a different one.
Okay, I don't think she
Or can you just mute your computer and you can stay on the phone?
Yeah, good.
That's a good idea. That works. I can't hear, so I can talk through the computer, but I cannot hear through the computer. I don't know
Okay.
what's happening with my laptop, but thank you. That was a good idea because now I can.
So
hear
that's
you
your
guys
phone
more
number.
clearly.
That's 78124. That's you? 781-246. Okay. Well,
Vanessa Westlake is our youth council liaison, so she is also on the call. You guys may have introduced while I was having comm troubles.
oh, okay. Hi, Vanessa. Are you there?
Hello,
Hello, welcome.
thank you.
Thank you for being here.
Karen, I did just email you something.
I just saw it's actually very timely because I have an interview tomorrow with Kelly King working on the open space planning for Wakefield. So I'm going to go over with you guys tonight a few of the things to brainstorm some ideas. It's going to be for meeting wise. Maureen just emailed me. She actually went home sick from work and went straight to bed. And we know Flo is not going to be here. So for voting purposes, we're not going to have a quorum.
We don't have a
It
quorum.
may just end up being us.
Okay, hi, Joanne.
Hi.
Oh, look at you all Christmassy.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, well then so Liz Ellis she tends to come a little bit later. So I'm gonna wait just like 30 more seconds and then call us to order, all right? Flo's not gonna be here, so do we have to, let's see, we have no quorum, so we can't vote, we can't, Oh, wait a minute, if Liz comes, we do have a quorum. Right? We do, if Liz comes,
Let's come.
but we don't have one right now, so, all right, well, I'm just gonna call the meeting to order so we can get to some juicy stuff. Call to order, and thank you everyone for being here. Is there any public comment? There's no, Vanessa, welcome. Do you wanna, make a comment in the public comment part? Vanessa is our Joanne, representative from the Youth Council who has joined us tonight.
Hello, this is my first meeting with you guys.
Nice, okay.
Here. And I know I spoke with Karen before about some ideas or initiatives that the youth council could help you guys with and we could partner with. I know we started with the snow angels and I've been working a lot on that this past week. So we've had our Instagram and our Facebook post things for that. We've tried to get flyers up around town on the digital boards in the library and the civic center and town hall, things like that. And I know we've gotten a few emails, and Karen has sent some to me that she has gotten, and I've responded back with some information. And we also sent out a little blurb to the daily item, and so hopefully we'll see that soon.
Wonderful. Wow, you just hit the ground running. Thank you. That's great. That's wonderful. Okay. Thank you. Okay, well, we look forward to working with you. Will you be planning to attend our meetings as the year goes on?
Yeah, definitely.
All
And
right,
I'll
well-
let you know if there's any conflicts.
Okay, terrific. Thank you. Okay, the minutes did go out? Everybody, Christina, Joanne, you saw the minutes?
Yep.
All right, there's nothing, not, point of order, I'm not quite sure if we take comments at this point, so we'll just table that till next month, reading and accepting the minutes. And then we have the report that Karen sent out a little while or today, the activities report, financial report. If you had a chance to look at that. Karen, is there anything you'd like to say about that?
No, really, the transportation needs are up. So what I'm working on the budget right now for fiscal year 24.
Okay,
And I'm going to try and request an increase in the van driver line to add an additional 12 hours a week so that we can bring on a second driver on a few days. Because there has been a greater need. You can see the trend going up
yeah,
with
yeah,
our transportation.
that's great. So the fiscal 24 starts what, October 1st? Is that the budget you're working on? What,
July 1st.
July 1st? Okay, so that could be sooner rather than later. All right, any questions about that report? We can't vote on it either. Okay,
Yeah, it's kind of tricky. We can't do a whole lot with we can though talk about the interview I have coming up tomorrow for the open space meeting where we can talk about some of the needs of older adults in Wakefield if
wonderful.
everybody's up for it.
Well, it's time for the director's report, so why don't you tell us whatever else you want to tell us and then launch into that, that'd be great.
Yeah, I mean, mostly the reports that I sent out that we can't vote on to put into the minutes, so I can brief on that next month if you want, so we can I can do 2 for 1 next month so they can both be put into the minutes. The center has been incredibly busy. We had a very successful holiday party. Thank you, Christina, for coming. It was nice to see you there. And
My
we
pleasure.
had
It was
70
fun.
people attend.
Yeah, it was a full house, really.
It was. We were so excited to have so many people back. We weren't sure how it would be with the first party back since 2019, and we had a great turnout. So we are all thrilled. We've gotten a lot of great feedback that everybody had a good time. So it was nice, and we're excited to have a St. Patrick's Day one in March to continue bringing some things back. Exercise classes continue to be really popular. The writing program is continuing to be really popular. And we're always looking at new opportunities to add things and different programming. I'm looking into adding an estate planning lecture sometime in the late winter. We're going to wait till March since attendance is typically low in January and February due to the weather. So we want to have it when we think we'll get optimal number or more people that can take part in it. And we had I can't remember if we had the scams before or after the last meeting, but that went really well with Chief Scory and Detective Silver. So it was that was a nice, we had a small turnout, but it was very informative and people enjoyed it. Right now it's, the center's busy and I'm primarily focusing on the budget and this open space, which coincides nicely with the age-friendly programming that we want to look at for the future planning for the year.
I saw on Facebook yesterday or the trip to Newport, that happened, right? Did that happen? Didn't that happen?
That was yesterday. Yep,
That was
2 buses full.
Was that Wakefield and Stoneham together?
Yep, we did another partnership. We ended up needing a second bus because it was so popular. So 102 people total, including our
Wow.
that included our four guide people. So Maureen and my volunteer Mary went for us, and then the director for Stoneham and one of her volunteers went for Stoneham. And everybody had a lovely time. They got home at 8 o'clock last night.
Well, wonderful. Well, looks like, yeah, nice. A lot going on.
Yeah, it's been really busy, so it's exciting around here. We're cards is actually growing. We have more and more card players on Tuesdays, so we're pretty happy to see people coming back, and we are doing everything we can to keep it clean and safe to continue through the upcoming cold season.
Okay. All right. So tell us about the meeting tomorrow, please. Or what?
It's just an interview with Kelly King is the lead for this company that Wakefield has hired to work on this. Let me tell you the official name of it. 1 second. Let's see. So Kelly King is she's an environmental planner. And it's also linking the OSRP, open space. Let's see. It's the plan from 2004 that's due for renewal, open space and recreation plan. So it's due for renewal. So she's interviewing me as a COA director. I'm on the committee, but she's also interviewing me for my role here just to see what our needs are. So they're all age-friendly basic.
Do you know how that interfaces with the master plan that's going on right now too?
It's separate than the master plan, although a lot of the things some of the things will coincide.
Okay.
But it's a separate document than the master plan. It just happens to be happening at the same time. So this one is led by this company that Kelly King is the environmental planner who is our main primary liaison or primary worker, I guess, for it.
You have a sense
So I
of
can
what?
go over the.
Yeah. What's she gonna ask you or want from you?
I can go over that right now. So I have the conversation topics and questions. So the first is, what are the current recreational trends among older residents in Wakefield? What activities, sports, programming, et cetera, are growing in popularity? Which are waning? How does the COA respond to these changes? Do you partner with the rec department and others? So for some of this I can answer to here. Yes, we partner with rec. We are hoping to partner with rec even more in the spring. Pickleball, I'm hoping to offer pickleball lessons inside this winter in February and March so that we can get some court time in the spring. So I would need to talk to Dan to see if they can help us with maybe an instructor. I'm going to talk to her about our exercise classes and how we're continuing to offer new exercise classes. I'm not sure. I'd have to check with Dan on what he thinks the popularity of tennis is among older residents in Wakefield. I know we're adding bocce courts. I know walking is very popular. You can tell when you go to the lake. That. As far as waning, I'm not really sure of any that are waning. But I was going to go over all the things that we do here to offer to the community.
So if pickleball lessons would be there or where would they be? At the auditorium, I mean at the vets, or would they take place at our center at the McCarthy?
Yeah,
No.
Rec already does some pickleball, so this would be something I would just want to offer here specifically that we could set up. I got a portable pickleball set that I thought we could actually set it up right in the exercise room, and it might be a fun activity for people who may not want to
cool.
go to
Okay.
rec to do something. I mean, I'm not trying to take over rec pickleball. This was just an idea of, hey, it's winter. This might be something we could bring people in to do a pickleball lesson. And
Yep.
then in the spring, we can work with rec to see, hey, can we get an hour of court time to offer for Council on Aging or Senior Center members? So this is just early in the works. I need to talk to Dan still. I just got the pickleball set, and I need to see if he can work with me to have a couple of lessons here at the Senior Center, just as an extra offering outside of what Rec's already doing.
It'll be interesting to know, like, if there's any, what the overlap is, if any already. In other words, people that come to the senior center for other programs and people that play pickleball with either with rec or just on their own. With and especially, I mean, the new courts, the new outdoor courts probably haven't been used much, but there are these outdoor courts now too, right? So be just interesting would it be a
They're
vehicle?
actually busy. The ones by the lake, every time I drive by, there's doubles, it's usually busy.
Oh, that's good. I didn't know
Yeah.
that.
It
And
looks
what-
like fun.
It's a,
What, I have a couple friends that play all the time. What would you say the age range? Are you close enough, Christina, to?
I would say 65 and above.
Yeah, so it's an older population.
Yep.
So is that a population that's already utilizing the senior center in any way? I wonder.
well, we're
Thank you.
hoping it may offer different things than just the typical classes. Like, it's not something
Yeah.
you have to commit to come to a class every Monday. You could come in and play pickleball, and I do think we might draw different people than we typically do with the
Yeah,
aerobics-y kind of classes.
Yeah, that sounds fun.
And so
Um,
that's the first question.
Okay.
The next is, what are your recent accomplishments meeting recreational needs and demands of older residents? So again, I could talk about the new classes we've added. We're adding Tai Chi actually in February as another offering. So I'm going to talk about the classes we already have, the new offerings, but then I want to review, Christina came over and we looked at she put together an amazing working document for our age-friendly plan and working on some action items. So I want to look through that too to make sure I'm not missing anything that might have been on that as part of this. But I'm open for any input anybody wants to add to my meeting tomorrow at 1.
So what the definition,
it-
this is open space, but recreational, does that mean restricted to outdoor or open space recreational? Or what's your sense of how broad they want to be or they're willing to be?
I'm not sure. This is going to be the first meeting and it's not a final. So this is the first sit down that I figure she'll help guide us. So she's the expert with this as far as what type of information she's looking for and what we need to share. So I should have more at the next meeting too after this first meeting with her. And it's definitely not a final thing. It's not like this is my one and done chance
Yeah,
to
yeah,
participate.
right.
I guess the only thing I'd add is the other considerations to be able to facilitate all those activities. Whether it's benches for people to sit at, bathrooms, water fountain, those kind of things, which just, allow people to take a break, some kind of a community, take a break if somebody else is playing a game or, it is a challenge when you walk around the lake and there's no bathrooms,
Right.
Oh, absolutely. I think so too. And I was thinking too, what do you think about if I offered, there's also not a lot of opportunities for shade. There's
Right.
not a lot of,
It's a good point.
I don't know, like the playground structures that have the things that you can go underneath to get to cool off a bit as summers keep heating up.
Yeah. And maybe some, for the times that, especially this time of year, some lighting, that would be very helpful, because there's people that still would like to be walking at 5 o'clock, but it's too dark, really, it's not, may not feel safe for people.
That's a great list.
No, thank you for that. That's great input. I have it all down here so I can be prepared. And then I don't know, I need to reach out to the Commission on Disability to see if they are part of, or if they've ever done or tried to do a townwide assessment or survey for accessibility throughout the town to identify any problem areas, things like that. And they'll be a part of this process as well. So let's see. So the next one is, what have been your biggest challenges for your department to meet these needs? staffing, equipment, space, transportation, et cetera. From us, transportation, we're going to try and help get some more transportation with being able to increase hours. For us, one of our biggest downfalls as far as outside space is we don't have any.
You don't have.
We are a postage stamp with limited parking for days that we're incredibly busy. Susan, you've experienced that on Tuesdays when you've come
Yeah,
sometime and we're out of
yeah.
spots.
Yeah, yeah. Fortunately, there's a street, but still, for some people, that's, a little bit of a hike.
Right, yeah, so if somebody is mobility impaired, the rear spots fill up fairly quickly. So it could be challenging for people who might have to park on the street, and then you're trying to hop up on curbs or down the middle of the road until you can get to the parking. And that's not all the time. We try to be mindful of what we're
Yeah,
scheduling, but that
yeah.
is a concern. Not a whole lot we can do about it because we can't grow space, but it is something we have to be mindful of when we do programming.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like the challenge is always resources, sufficient resources, and coordination with other departments / programs / projects within the town. Always. But particularly under-resourced. I mean, everybody's under-resourced, right? So.
Yeah. And then our next one is, do you have projects, initiatives, or policy changes in the works or plan to address challenges and needs? I thought that would be a good place to talk about our age-friendly designation and this organization's, our board's plan to do some planning of what we'd like to tackle this coming year, and then who we want to work with from the original group to continue those things.
Yeah. Does she have yet a copy of the age-friendly plan? Or you're gonna and then you have updates you talked about with your work, Christina, your work, the additions and updates, or what, they're not really updates to the plan, but they're action items building off the plan, sounds like.
Did you want me to share that, or do you want to wait till next time?
Yeah, I think next time is fine, but is that something that should be brought forward tomorrow? Do you think, with Karen, with your meeting?
Yeah, I mean, a lot
I
of
don't
those
think they need
items on
that.
there, I mean, Karen and I worked on it together, so I think
Yeah.
some of them were good reminders, I think, of also like, oh, I'm already doing that. And the library also does that, whatever
Yeah,
the
yeah,
might be.
yeah.
So it's a great list, so.
Yeah, it really is. So I'm going to have that open with me when I'm meeting with her so that I can talk to those points.
And
Okay,
who,
so then my last question, oh, sorry.
no, I'll ask it at the end, go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead. That's okay. I just was going to give the last question. So go ahead with your.
Well, I should have asked at the beginning, who's the oversight of the open space plan? What is that? Is that the selectmen? Who is it? Who's the client? I mean, I know the town is the client, but who's the chief in the town that's overseeing the work of this consulting firm?
Let me say who from the town sent it to me. I mean, I believe it's the town council charter type of things, that the report will be presented to town council. Who the liaison is from within the town that's leading it, I'd have to look through my email to see. I don't remember. I went to the meeting and I can't remember who set it up.
Okay, there's a little bit of I get so excited, and then my little cynic in my head says, well, who's gonna do anything with this? What is this being done for? Where does it go?
Oh,
How does it become
It's being
actionable?
done to update the town of Wakefield Open Space and Recreation Plan is currently from fiscal year 2005 to 2010. So it's updating the current plan. So this is a live document that stays within the town. So
But
it's an
who reads
update
it
for
and
the
who
plan.
does anything? I mean, so it's an update, but it's an update for what purpose besides and this is gonna sound awful, but besides to exist as a document. Does somebody act on anything? Does it inform a budget process? Does it inform the master plan? Does it, what happens to it? And you may, I'm not asking for an answer. I'm wondering though, what the big picture is. Where does this go? How is it useful to the town other than that a report gets created? I- So if we don't know, we can
To
ask
be
our,
continued, probably.
okay,
Yeah, I mean, I'm reading through the 2000, the old one in preparation for my meeting, but I
Yeah.
believe it's a lot, it's like many other things, it's going to be your key stakeholders. There's going to be your department heads who are, the benefit, right, is that it's something that is going to benefit the town that we all work on, that it's not something that's just done and goes away. I think it's similar to the age-friendly document that Christina put together, that when you put it all together, like, oh, we're doing this. So it does drive action that we actually are doing. It's just codifying on a piece of paper, but it's not something that we just put there and then we don't do. I believe a lot of it will be things that we are acting on a regular basis, similar to our age-friendly stuff.
yeah.
It wasn't all just like, oh, we're going to do this hopefully in the future. A lot of it we are doing in some form, and we can continue to improve on it.
Mm-hmm.
But more to come. I'll definitely
Yeah, it
give
identifies
more of a
key.
briefing at our next one.
Okay, great.
So the last question is, what new projects, initiatives, and policy changes should the town consider to better meet your department needs and those of the town's older residents? Are there any accessibility concerns around the recreation that should be addressed, and what are the challenges and opportunities to move these efforts forward? So I think some of the challenges we've already talked about are the things that would be good for improving those offerings for the residents.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And again, I believe this is starting the dialogue, and it's the very early stages of starting the plan,
Right.
or the updated
The
plan.
only other one I would say is even services are better for young and old, but when you have like concrete that have cracks, if you have a walker or even a wheelchair, it's bumpy, it's not comfortable, and you can trip. So that's what's great about like the bike path, right? Like it's all even while you're on it, kind of thing.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I've always wondered, because I talked about this when I was on the Disability Commission in Melrose, that I always thought that it would be like a dream to be able to have a house that not a house, but a portal or something where you could, when you're out walking and you notice, hey, there's a problem here, this tree root is coming up, an easy spot that a resident or somebody could submit something saying, hey, we noticed this new tree stump, and I know you can call it DPW, but just a portal where these things can be housed. That Disability Commission has people who are out walking and notice things, even down to when cars park up on the sidewalk instead of fully on the street. Now you've blocked the sidewalk, things like that happen on a regular basis, or trees obstructing the sidewalk, different things like that. So I'm curious, that would be something that we could in the future partner with the Disability Commission on, trying to find some way to identify some of those risks and see where are they housed. This just presents the challenge, I suppose, of you can identify thousands of things, so then how in turn does the town prioritize what would be done first, and where the pecking order is of what you can get done, because you can't realistically get it all done.
Right. But I think it's important. Now, it's important to be able to put a spotlight on it, not to shame anybody, but to say, look, this is dangerous, or this could be dangerous. Or a vision impaired person, there's just all kinds of things that can happen. It's one thing to not be, to see something, but if somebody can't see a 2-inch, rise in a sidewalk, that could be a dangerous thing. And also people with strollers, I can remember in my days of pushing strollers, sometimes it would just be, not in Wakefield, it was in another town, but sometimes the sidewalks were such that pushing a stroller with a toddler, a baby in a stroller and a toddler hanging on, going over a bump. And so age friendly, that's all ages and stages.
And Liz has joined us.
Hello, Liz.
Hello, everyone.
Did you have trouble getting into the meeting or just,
No, I did not. I'm not feeling well, so I went upstairs to get ready for bed, and it took me longer than I thought it would.
okay, well, I'm sorry you're not feeling well.
So am I. I'm not liking this.
Yeah, yeah, Well, we've tabled our minutes. We're not gonna vote on minutes today or the report because we didn't have a quorum at the time on the agenda, so we're just moving forward and Karen is meeting tomorrow with a consultant who's working on the open space plan for the town. So that's what this subject of discussion is right now, is some of the, she's got, Karen received questions and she's preparing for her meeting with the consultant.
Very good.
Joanne, you okay there?
Yeah, I'm okay. I wasn't here last meeting, so I'm a little behind on what's happening with the age-friendly discussion.
Okay. Christina, would you mind talking a little bit about what you did with, you and Karen did and what you did, and we can talk about January next.
Okay.
Oh,
So we,
Can I do a quick, I'm sorry, can I do a quick thing just to answer Susan's questions? I'm very sorry to interrupt. I just realized I have, I just did a little research. So the conservation department are the ones, they appointed me to be on the open space recreation committee meetings.
conservation,
So I believe
okay.
they're one of the main people overseeing. Sorry, I just
Okay.
wanted to get that in before
No,
I forgot to
that's
tell you
all
guys.
right.
I'm
That's
sorry,
good to
Christina.
know. Thank you. No, that's quite all right. Good to know.
so we reviewed the age-friendly document. We took the different domains, so it has 8 domains. And then there are key focus goals, and then there are action items amongst those domains. So we put all of that actually into an action plan. Some may be a same initiative, but it has a different domain or a different goal. And so Karen and I met and reviewed that document. So I put it into Excel and then tried to make comments around things that were with the focus of what the Council on Aging is doing today or has plans to do in the future around those different action items. So, so that's what we put together and then updated it. Now, some of the action items will always be ongoing, like promote X, Y, and Z, right? Senior activities or those kind of things. And some were a little bit more finite, and some, frankly, we didn't know the answers to as we reviewed some of the items. Some were a little confusing as to who might own the action item. So our scope really was to look at what the Council on Aging is contributing, and quite a fair amount, of course, for the senior, with the lens of seniors population. So I'm happy to present that at the next, I can circulate that, and I need Karen to look at it one more time for me. Make sure I didn't miss anything or misinterpret anything, and then we're happy to share that.
That's great.
Okay.
Thank you for that. Yeah, it's a good chunk of progress. Yeah.
I think it would be helpful too to look at it and see what we think are like the top 3 things that we would want to focus, because there's a lot in there,
Yes.
to put it lightly, and great ideas, but you can't do everything. So, and it is over a span of time, but it is a 3-year plan that started in 2021. So, some things have distinct time, a suggested timeline, I would assume, and obviously some will be ongoing, so.
Hey, this is Liz. One of the things that I didn't see in here that I know I have heard from, I'm 80, by the way, my friends, similar ages, is how scary they find going downtown with the rooming house people, many of whom are addicts. I know this because they've told me, are sitting out in front of the dollar store or out in front of some of the other places, or sleeping on the ground, or sleeping on a park bench, or out cold on a park bench. It's not the bench's fault, by a long shot. But I wanted to add that because I'm hearing that on a regular basis.
Liz, do you think, I mean, do they feel threatened, but have they been threatened in any way?
No, they have not been threatened. They feel threatened.
They feel threatened.
They're not happy with the guy sitting on the sidewalk outside of the dollar store, asking them for money either.
Okay.
But
So they're
again, it is not the bench's fault. It's the people that we have. I'm saying this because I worked at the food pantry for years and years. And I don't want to belie anyone, but people who live in a rooming house, in a single room, usually are there because they've had some major problems
Mhm.
along the way.
Yeah.
Whether it's an addiction. I know in one of the rooming houses, many have addictions because they used to keep telling us that people were stealing their drugs. I just wanted to add that in because the only thing I've seen, like in the paper, is complaining about the benches. Where
Well,
So-
I remember when we, in this committee, actually in this board a couple of years ago, talked about benches that faced each other, we should move them so they didn't face each other, like, because it promoted gathering, like, really? Well, anyway,
no,
I remember that, yeah, I just like,
yes,
really? Really? We want people to gather, we want people to socialize, we want people to feel like they're a community. And I'm not, that's not to take away from what you're talking about, I understand what you're talking about, but
Is
think-
that a separate issue from, it sounds like that's a little different topic from the age-friendly action plan?
it is. No, I was just adding that in just as a point of interest. There's nobody else on the council in my age group.
Mhm. I think it's I mean, it's a age-friendly, it's a safety issue or a perceived
It
safety.
it is a safety issue, yes.
And I think, the town now has, right, I don't know what his title is, but a new human services worker. And I'm apologize because I can't remember even what department he's in, but he's come on board fairly recently. I think he's a social worker. And it may be that, part of that, this conversation, the safety conversation, the psychic safety, there may be some education involved, there may be, there's a bunch of things involved in that, which could benefit anyone in this town, actually, because I don't think it's necessarily just older people that are wary. There's other people that might be, I've seen letters on the Wakefield or comments on the Wakefield community page from people that use the library, about generally the same subject and feeling bringing their children to the library sometimes is a little problematic for them for what you're talking about, Liz. So,
Yes, that was another spot.
yeah,
But
yeah,
it is supposed to be age friendly for all ages.
that's right, that's right, that's right.
No, you can move on. I just thought I'd better tell you now, other one, because I haven't heard anyone else mention that concern of the friends my age.
I think personally, I think there's a big education piece there that maybe this, the McCarthy Center could eventually be a sponsor of some education as well. Because sometimes,
Who are they going to educate?
well, I think, people have a lot of perceptions about you worked at the food pantry, but people have a lot of perceptions about somebody who's laying on a bench, which may or may not be accurate. Or
Yes.
mental illness and addiction and things that, things that appear to be frightening and may not be as frightening as they appear to be to some people. So I'm not at all, criticizing at all what you're saying, Liz. I understand what
I
you're saying.
understand that. No, I have a tougher skin than that anyway.
Yeah, well, it's just, sometimes, yeah, it's just, and we have, I don't think the housing here, the single rooms are gonna go away, so,
No, they bring in a lot of
yeah,
taxes.
yeah, so, well, and yeah, that just, so that's not gonna, the people aren't gonna leave. So it's learning how to live as a community, I guess, that, and then this is off topic in a way, but, personally today, I have been very distraught about if you, any of you know who Twitch is or who Twitch was, on the Ellen DeGeneres show. I mean,
Yes,
I just watched a TikTok a little while ago, a video of him on December 12th, 2 days ago. Dancing happy, his wife, his kid, one of his kids. And he, puts a bullet in his head yesterday. So, you just don't know what's going on with somebody. You just don't know.
very true.
So that's off topic, but it's very much on a lot of people's minds today, this sadness of it and the,
Brought a lot of joy,
yeah.
really
Yeah,
did. Him and his wife, frankly. Quite a couple.
40 years old, 3 beautiful kids and
Yeah.
you just don't know what's going on underneath those smiles.
No, and there was an incident in Melrose on Friday, so it's there's definitely a lot of need out there.
An incident related to the what Liz is talking about, or a suicide?
No, with mental health and suicide.
Yeah,
So it might be worth considering working with the health department, and Jason Stone is the social worker I think that you're thinking of.
oh, okay, thank you.
Adding even into our Council on Aging newsletter,
Yeah,
just the, hey, do you feel you're in trouble? Here's the hotline, just to put that in some of our newsletters, just to make it a non-judgment zone of, hey, here it is. This is just another number to know. If you need it, you give it a call.
It's a nice spot. Yeah.
so Karen, is there any more that we can, I don't know, did we help? Did we help?
You've been very helpful. Yes, I actually appreciate it. I was very relieved we were having the meeting tonight because I wanted to go over some of the questions with all of you and get your input so I could be prepared and have people's feedback. So thank you very much. It was very helpful to me.
And Joanne, did that bring you sort of up to the current moment with the age friendly?
Yeah, that did. Thank you, Christina.
So, and Vanessa, if you're listening, I don't know if you've seen the age-friendly plan yet. You probably have a million things you need to do, but maybe we'll provide you with a copy. We'll email you a copy, all right?
Yeah, definitely. I
The
don't know.
original, so you can, and it's not dense reading. It's a plan that was started before the pandemic to get the town of Wakefield designated as an age-friendly town. Age-friendly, many people think of that as elderly, but it's really all ages. And certainly, some of the things that you heard us talk about a few minutes ago are part of that. So we'll get a copy to you so you know what's going on.
Thank you.
Certainly, the work that you're doing through the youth council, even it may not, having an active, robust snow shoveling squad aboard is an age-friendly characteristic, and it's wonderful that you're there and the youth council's promoting that. So that makes that's an age-friendly star for us to have that resource for people.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Okay, so as we go forward, we had designated next month as our more in-depth conversation about the age-friendly plan. So Christina, and you had mentioned this a minute ago, we'll get that revised document draft before that, and we'll really plan to put some good discussion time into identifying priorities, possibilities. Is that, I'm not pronouncing that as an edict. I'm just saying that's what my thought is to
I
what.
think we'd be ready, don't you think, Karen?
I think so.
Yeah.
The next meeting is January 11th.
11. Okay, oh, it's early, yeah. All right, well, yeah, January 11th. Well, if, at least to bite off a chunk, we can get started. So,
Yeah, we'll share that ahead of the meeting.
yeah, perfect. Okay. Okay, I can't say any new business, so let's say, what can I say?
Happy holidays.
Happy, thank you.
Holiday.
Thank you. Same to you. Happy holidays, everybody. It's, yeah.
Thank you. Same to everyone else.
I hope you get better, Liz, before.
Feel better.
I am planning on it. I'm going
Yeah.
to Maryland to one of my daughter's houses for Christmas, and I can't go if I'm sick.
No, you can't. You can't. Well, you still got a good week to.
I
plan
do.
when you're supposed to go, but. Although I went to Market Basket today and I'll tell you, it looked to me like 3 days before Christmas at Market Basket this afternoon. It was late this afternoon. It was just like, wow, all these people, what are they doing here?
During good time.
That was about 4 o'clock.
Oh, that's just before supper. Not a good time.
Well, this was more than that, I think, but anyway, it's all right. It's all good. I'm happy that people can bring people into their homes and make things and cook and serve food and have gatherings, if that's what they want to do. We couldn't do that 2 years ago, so. Okay,
You want to make a motion to adjourn?
well, I don't know. We can't vote on a motion, so.
Sure. So I guess we can just.
Well, no,
decide to
Liz is
adjourn.
here. We
How
can't
many
have.
do you
a-
need? I think when
Yeah, we
I,
have it. We
Oh,
have
we
it
do now, you're right.
We do now, yeah. All right, so Liz, did I hear you make a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Okay,
Second,
Joanne has seconded and all in favor, aye.
bye.
Aye. Okay, all right, have a wonderful holiday season or whatever you can have. Endurance.
Thanks,
wise.
everyone.
Do.
You too. Take care.
Happy holidays.
Good luck tomorrow, Karen. Yeah.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
See you in January.